Ever notice how the loudest person in the room usually has the least to say? They speak with confidence, certainty, and almost no understanding. You've seen it, haven't you? That one person who talks over everyone, while the one who actually knows what's going on just sits there. At work, they hijack meetings with half-cooked ideas. Online, they shout opinions like truth. In politics, they rise to power not by being wise, but by being entertaining. Meanwhile, the thoughtful ones, the ones who think before they speak, stay quiet. They pause. They weigh their words, because they value accuracy over attention. And in that quiet moment, something dangerous happens. The noise fills the room. We start rewarding confidence instead of competence. We mistake arrogance for leadership. We let people who sound certain decide for everyone else. It's not that smart people are cowards, it's that they care about being right, while the loud just care about being heard. But the world doesn't pay attention to accuracy. It pays attention to volume. The algorithm, the media, the mob, all amplify the noise. So the world slowly bends toward stupidity. Not because fools are powerful, but because the wise have gone silent. So what killed wisdom? Fear or noise? And why do the confident ignorant rise while the intelligent fade? That's where the psychology begins.
There's something strange about confidence. It doesn't always come from knowledge. In fact, the less some people know, the more certain they sound. Psychologists even have a name for it, the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's the curve of overconfidence, where ignorance feels like expertise, and genuine intelligence feels like doubt. The fool says, "I know exactly what's going on." The wise say, "It's complicated." And the crowd always listens to whoever sounds more sure. Confidence is magnetic. It looks like leadership, feels like strength, and sounds like truth, even when it's completely wrong. You've probably seen it. Someone speaks with such conviction that everyone nods, even though you can tell they're bluffing. That's how the illusion begins. Meanwhile, the intelligent person sees the details, the risks, the unknowns, and that awareness creates hesitation. They question themselves, not because they're weak, but because they actually understand how much they don't know. But here's the cruel twist. The world doesn't reward reflection. It rewards reaction. It doesn't reward truth. It rewards certainty. So the confident fool becomes the expert. The thinker disappears. And over time, this pattern spreads. Through offices, politics, even friendships. We start trusting confidence more than competence. We let certainty disguise stupidity. It's the loudness illusion. Say something with enough conviction and people believe it's true. Say it with caution and they assume you don't believe it yourself. So what happens when the whole system starts rewarding that noise? When every platform, every feed, every headline favors the loud over the wise? That's when noise stops being an accident and becomes our culture.
At first, noise was just human, a few loud voices drowning out the careful ones. But somewhere along the way, the noise became profitable. Social media learned that outrage keeps you scrolling. News learned that fear keeps you watching. Politicians learned that drama wins elections. And before we noticed, stupidity wasn't a bug. It was a business model. Every click, every share, every reaction fuels the loudest voice in the room. The algorithm doesn't ask, is it true? It asks, will it keep you here for 10 more seconds? Truth used to matter. Now timing does. So the internet rewards exaggeration, anger, and certainty. It punishes thoughtfulness, context, and doubt. Slow thinking dies in a world that never stops refreshing. Open any feed and you'll see it. People shouting in short bursts, chasing validation like oxygen. The ones who pause, who question, who think too long, disappear in the scroll. We've built a civilization where visibility matters more than value, where opinions are currency and truth is an inconvenience. And the tragedy is, the system doesn't care. It doesn't reward wisdom. It rewards reaction time. It will amplify a fool if the fool brings engagement. It will bury insight if it makes people think too hard. That's how noise became culture. A culture where being confidently wrong pays more than being quietly right. And once that culture takes root, stupidity isn't just tolerated, it's celebrated. But every culture runs on feedback. If we built a world that rewards noise, maybe we can rebuild one that values clarity. The question is, who will speak first?
Every time intelligence stays silent, noise grows stronger. Every time truth hesitates, confidence fills the gap. At first, it seems harmless. You stay quiet to keep the peace. You let the loud have their moment because arguing feels pointless. But silence doesn't calm stupidity. It feeds it. The more we let the wrong voices dominate, the more they believe they're right. Arrogance mistakes the quiet for agreement, and soon the conversation isn't just noisy, it's owned by fools. History has seen this before. Civilizations rarely fall from invasion, they crumble from within. Not because enemies were stronger, but because the wise stopped speaking, and the arrogant stopped listening. When truth retreats, lies become law. When thoughtfulness hides, propaganda thrives. And when intelligence decides it's not worth it, ignorance decides it's in charge. You don't have to look far to see it. In boardrooms where loud confidence beats logic. In politics where charisma crushes competence. In media that trades truth for clicks. Silence feels noble, but it isn't neutral. It's permission. It's the quiet that lets the chaos grow. Every time the intelligent go quiet, they hand the microphone to stupidity, and the world claps for the performance, never realizing the script is nonsense. So maybe the real danger isn't that fools speak too much, but that the wise have forgotten how to. The cure for stupidity isn't silence. It's courage. Not the loud kind, but the quiet courage to say what's true, even when it's inconvenient. Every time one honest voice speaks, 1,000 echoes of nonsense start to fade. Every time one person chooses clarity over comfort, the algorithm of chaos weakens. Just a little. We don't fix stupidity by shouting louder. We fix it by refusing to join the performance, by thinking longer, by speaking slower, by choosing words that heal, not humiliate. Because truth doesn't need to trend to matter. It just needs to survive long enough to be heard. Somewhere right now, a young person is watching the noise and thinking, maybe silence is safer. They're wrong. The world doesn't need more silence. It needs more sanity. The internet doesn't reward wisdom yet, but it will. When people start demanding it. When we start rewarding thought, not outrage, understanding, not noise. So speak, even if your voice shakes, even if no one listens the first time, because every truth that's spoken plants a seed. And one day, when the noise finally burns itself out, those seeds will be the only thing still growing. Stupidity spreads fast, yes, but truth has patience. It always waits, quietly, faithfully, for someone brave enough to speak it again.